Fresno State student who served in the U.S. Navy and also works with the Fresno State VA office.
Also, community members in Northwest Fresno came together this weekend to beautify their neighborhood.
Plus, just a reminder on how to get tested for COVID-19 on campus. Fresno State Focus starts now. It makes me laugh. Hello and welcome to Fresno State Focus. I'm Leticia Leal.
And I'm Lily Gonzalez. Veterans Day is tomorrow. For many, it is a day to show thanks to the many men and women who have served our country and community. Not to be confused with Memorial Day, which is a day of remembrance. Veterans Day is for all active or formerly active servicemen and women. Members such as Fresno State student and veteran Steve Cano served in the United States Navy and works with the Fresno State VRC office.
I saw all these, I grew up in Hanford, and for every farmer's market, I always saw veterans wear their hat, proudly. And I remember I bought one once upon a time and I put it on. And believe it or not, a lot of old veterans actually came up to me and they're like, "You're too young to have served. How old are you?" And I told them my age.
A veteran can be anyone from anywhere. And yes, since the 9/11 attacks, a lot of our veterans are young. We thank each and every one tomorrow and every day.
There are 400 military and veteran students here at Fresno State. The Veterans Resource Center helps them all. It originally opened in early 2020. About a year later, the Veterans Resource Center is fully being used as intended. You can find it right next to the bucket on campus across from the Student Union.
The students who are either transitioning out of the military or who are veterans and will be using their benefits, they start with our office first, and we get them set up to use those GI Bill benefits. In addition, we provide advising for our veteran population, and we host veteran-related events and activities on campus.
Open every weekday from 8 to 5, all military personnel are encouraged to be part of the VRC.
Fresno State just received a $2 million grant to study behavioral health in the Latino and Hmong communities. It is funded by the Health Resources and Services Administration. To show how cultural differences impact how health care is provided to families, students will be placed around the school, health centers, hospital, and behavioral health clinics for 1 year along while taking their courses. Each student receives a $10,000 training stipend during 2 years of the social work program. The Journalist of Color program here at Fresno State just received a $20,000 contribution from Microsoft. Microsoft has a program called the Microsoft Journalism Initiative. It's in 6 communities around the country, and one of those is here in Fresno. The $20,000 will be put towards the overall budget for the program and will be going to students as a stipend. The goal of the Journalist of Color program is to help broaden the diversity in newsrooms in the San Joaquin Valley.
Apartment rent in the city of Fresno is at an all-time high right now, reaching their highest monthly price ever at $1,470 per month. Fresno's apartment rent rose by $243 between October of 2020 and October 2021. Renters' rights have been an important factor for those looking for rent in Fresno. Earlier today, the Central California Legal Services had a booth on campus to raise awareness on renters' rights for students.
Well, primarily we're hoping to make them aware that we're available to those who qualify financially so that we can assist them with those services, because it may be that they're having an issue with their landlord and don't realize that they can reach out to attorneys who can provide them legal aid for free.
The Central California Legal Services is a part of the Homelessness Prevention Project. This prevention project helps educate students on their rights when it comes to dealing with your landlord and property management.
As we approach the busy holiday season, Fresno State is reminding students to get tested if they have COVID symptoms. Tony Salazar shows us how easy it is to do it on campus.
This Thanksgiving, many students are looking forward to their first family gathering in more than a year.
Having the one time out of the year you know, the one time we all come together and we're able to enjoy each other's company.
This Thanksgiving, I'm actually going up to my family's property.
Probably. It's Thanksgiving. It's bound to happen. Everybody usually congregates in one area.
This year, students are reminded that the end is not here yet and to be safe and protect their community against COVID-19. One way is by getting a COVID-19 test when feeling symptoms of COVID.
Yes, testing at the Satellite Student Union for campus community, so students, staff, and faculty, is free of charge. It is a saliva-based PCR test.
And if you're wanting to get tested, you'll want to remember these 3 things. Number 1, no food or drinks 1 hour before your test. Number 2, don't forget to bring your Fresno State ID card. And number 3, don't forget one of these, a face mask. The testing is quick and can be done within minutes.
You can complete the one-time testing consent. You would then grab your tube and vial, and then you would produce 1 to 1.5 milliliters of saliva. Once you're done with that, you cap it off, hand it out to the checkout place.
From October 13th to November 5th, Fresno State has administered 1,336 COVID tests. 284 tested positive. That's 1.7% since the beginning of the semester. Testing will be available through the end of this fall semester. At Fresno State, Tony Salazar, Fresno State Focus.
Testing is available Monday to Saturday for all faculty, staff, and students. No appointment is necessary, and most results are available within 24 to 48 hours. A lot of people are wondering, is campus going to be open after Thanksgiving break? In an email sent this past Monday, President Jimenez Sandoval said the campus will remain open through the end of the fall semester. That's because 89% of students and 88% of employees are vaccinated. He's encouraging the campus community to continue to complete the online daily screening tool, wear a mask, and stay home if you are not feeling well.
The city of Fresno is on a cleaning streak. Beautify Fresno is transforming the city one community at a time. This past weekend, people in Northwest Fresno came together to beautify their neighborhood. Ruby Roque shows us how they're making a difference, one piece of trash at a time.
Community members are out cleaning the streets of this Fresno neighborhood. This cleanup event is one of many events that is taking place all over Fresno, brought by the Beautify Fresno initiative started by Mayor Jerry Dyer.
One of the biggest complaints that he got during the campaign was about the look of the city of Fresno on the highways, streets, alleys, parks, trails, neighborhoods, you name it. There was just entirely too much trash and graffiti.
This movement has encouraged thousands of people to gather nearly every weekend to improve Fresno streets. They want to show how much they care about the way their neighborhoods look, not just for themselves, but for people who are passing through. Samuel Reyes is a Palmdale native student at Fresno State. He's volunteering to beautify Fresno because it's something he believes in. He would do the same in his hometown.
I think that there's so much that needs to be done in order to uplift the community, and this is a big way of doing it, mainly because we have everyone from the neighborhood come out and, you know, just help out, make it look beautiful.
The Fresno City Council voted to fund Beautify Fresno right after Jerry Dyer became mayor. 90% of the cleanups happen just south of the Freeway 180 in neighborhoods that traditionally have been underserved and neglected. The next cleanup is November 20th in the El Dorado neighborhood. Floritzel Garcia heard about this cleanup event and immediately signed up.
Yes, I feel like if this keeps growing and we keep continuing on doing it, things are going to be better throughout time, especially just not helping like clean, but also the way it affects people and the way that they live.
These cleanups go to show that Fresno matters, and community members want their city to look as good as possible. This is Ruby Roque for Fresno State Focus.
If you would like to participate in the next cleanup event, go to beautifyfresno.org. Lily, isn't it amazing the efforts that they're doing to clean up our city?
Absolutely, and I cannot wait for tourists and visitors to come see the true beauty that Fresno has to offer. Coming up on Fresno State Focus, hundreds turned out to Woodward Park in Fresno for the Water Lantern Festival.
See how a group of girls suited up in firefighter gear and learn what it takes to be a firefighter.
Plus, we take a look at how the Fresno Monsters prepare for their upcoming season.
The milk can will stay in Boise as the Bulldogs lost to the Broncos. Hear about what's ahead for this weekend's game when we come back.
At Fresno State, being bold means committing to something greater than yourself. It's learning by doing and nurturing leaders to advance our shared future. It's using research to create a better life for those around us and healing those who need us most. These are our stories, because at Fresno State, bold begins here.
Success. At Fresno State, it's no secret. It's discovering new ways to change our world. It's creating opportunities as diverse as our community itself. It's in the distinction of our graduates as they lead us into the future. Success is no secret at Fresno State. It's our mission.
For the first time ever, the Bulldog Marching Band will be in the Rose Parade in Pasadena. This is a huge honor for the band. They'll also perform their field show in the Tournament of Roses Band Fest. The parade will be New Year's Day 2023. We have bowl game action on the mind, but ouch, I was at that game this past weekend. Anna, can you tell us what happened?
The score was unexpected as Bulldogs were heartbroken. I'm Ana Cruz Lopez with your focus on weather. With your focus on sports. For the first time since 2014, 48,000 people filled Bulldog Stadium on Saturday for a sold-out game against the Boise State Broncos, and those Broncos beat Fresno State 40-14. It was a heartbreaking game for Bulldog fans after we were just ranked 25 and had won the past 3 games in a row. Boise State's defense had everyone talking after the game. Jake Haener passed for 279 yards and 2 touchdowns for Fresno State, but he also threw 3 interceptions, including 1 in the end zone. The Bulldogs had 11 penalties, including a holding that negated a 97-yard interception return in the first half.
Twice. That's what definitely can't happen. And more than ever, we got to flush this game. And it doesn't mean that we're not going to go watch the film and, really dissect it and critique it. Because we got to do that. We got to be better because the next teams are going to look at the areas where we were weak.
The last 2 times Boise came here since 2011, they lost to Fresno State, but not this time. Fresno State will host New Mexico this Saturday in Bulldog Stadium. The basketball team starts its 100th season with a win against the Fresno Pacific Sunbirds, 74-54. Orlando Robinson led the team, scoring 16 points and 3 blocks. Jordan Campbell scored 14 points, Anthony Holland with 12 points, and Leo Colomario had a career high of 10 points. By the first half, the Dogs had a lead of 42-20. It was a good game for the Bulldogs, a strong start for their centennial season. The volleyball team has now won 4 games in a row against the San Diego Aztecs. Fresno State took 3 of the 5 sets on Saturday. Grace Doyle led the team with 13 kills and 4 blocks. A kill by Presley Lillard and an ace by Brooke Cowie helped the Dogs take the 5th set. Our Bulldogs will be traveling to Wyoming tomorrow and to Colorado State on Saturday. The Monsters are Fresno's young and talented hockey team, and now they are allowing fans back in attendance. Noah Chavez takes us to the ice.
The sounds of skates and clash of hockey pucks mean one thing. The Fresno Monsters are back in action for the 2021-22 season.
It was amazing, and seeing the fans back here, which is awesome, because the kids just look at us and try to be us, and that's awesome.
Narek Alexinian is from Quebec, Canada, where hockey is king. He's thrilled to be playing with the Monsters, a team that has plenty of heart and soul.
So the Monsters are a part of the USPHL, which is one of the largest junior hockey organizations in the world. They have placed more players in the NHL than just about any other sanctioning body, if you will, that's out there.
The Monsters have been part of Fresno since 2009, but never had to endure a season with no fans in attendance.
2020-21, we were without people in the building aside from essential personnel or host family individuals that are, because these players come from all over the world, so they're actually staying with families here in Fresno.
Finally, after 2 years, fans are finally welcome back here at Gateway Ice. Just be prepared that if you do come to see the Monsters play, just know that things are a little chilly here.
It's really cool to come into a building and, you know, see like the stands and the glass just filled out, because, you know, like, it really gives you that extra motivation and it gives you something to play for.
The Monsters are ready to bring the mayhem for the community and their fans. Noah Chavez, Fresno State Focus.
The Monsters will host a 3-game set against Las Vegas starting on Thursday. That's your focus on sports. Back to Leticia.
Success for the Fresno Fire Department's 2nd annual Girls Empowerment Camp. This past Saturday, 70 girls learned about what it's like being a firefighter. Girls climbed the ground ladder and the aerial ladder on the truck. Way up there, that's where Fresno Fire Chief Carrie Donist watched all of this happen. There were 7 stations that girls took turns with, pulling hoses and calling for water. The goal is to have 2 camps a year and support young girls interested in the career of firefighting. People were able to attend a peaceful and memorable experience this weekend. Hundreds turned out to Woodward Park in Fresno for the Water Lantern Festival. Along with yummy foods from local food businesses and a chance to snap some pictures, participants had the opportunity to write something meaningful on the lanterns, which are made with eco-friendly materials. Then, as the sun set with an LED light in the lantern, people watched as the lanterns floated away, reflecting letters of love, hope, and dreams, which organizers say that's what this event was all about. Coming up after the break, Noah Chavez is live at the Clovis Botanical Garden showing us how a lot can bloom even in a California drought. We continue our Meet the Focus team segment with the people behind the scenes
and our waves are red.
This newscast together.
Bulldog born and bulldog bred. Generations linked forever by traditions that have stood the test of time. Inside our stadiums, we are one. This is our valley, and this year, we're doing it for you.
At Fresno State, being bold means committing to something greater than yourself. It's learning by doing, and nurturing leaders to advance our shared future. It's using research to create a better life for those around us, and healing those who need us most. These are our stories, because at Fresno State, bold begins here.
Let's take a look at the forecast for this upcoming week. As we can see here, Fresno State is looking beautiful. Fall is in full bloom. The trees have the prettiest colors. Now for our nationwide satellite, we can see that there's a lot of activity going on in the Midwest as well as our northern west. We are not affected by that. However, the fog may still linger around for another day or so. If you did not experience any of that dense fog, I did. I'm from the Bay Area and I had to drive through the different variations of it. And let me tell you, it was not fun, but hopefully it clears up for the remainder of the day and the valley. Looking at the regional satellite, we can see here again, like we just mentioned, not a lot of activity. And the fog will be carrying through tomorrow, but clearing up around 11 before noon. Taking a look at today's highs, we can see that we have pretty pleasant weather. You know, we're done with the whole summer. We're going into November and we are getting some good digits. So we got Stockton at 65, Merced at 69, Fresno at your 66. Shaver Lake is staying cold at 54. For tonight, we will be cold again. So make sure you guys bundle up. We have Stockton at 47, Merced at 48, Fresno at 48, and Shaver Lake all the way down to 39. Let's look at your air quality. So it looks like our valley will be doing pretty well. We have Fresno in moderate and Kings and Kern as well, but the remainder is healthy. Extended outlook, it looks like we have a really pleasant week ahead going into Veterans Day. We will be warming up through the weekend, but then again, next week will be cooling down again starting Monday and Tuesday with a 68 and low of 46. I am Lily Gonzalez, and that was your focus on weather.
With California in a record-setting drought, it is important to use water sparingly, especially when it comes to gardening. Noah Chavez is live at the Clovis Botanical Garden, where their garden is best suited for California droughts. Noah?
Thanks, Leticia, and welcome everyone. I am live here in Clovis, California, more specifically the Clovis Botanical Garden, and I'm joined by the president of the Clovis Botanical Garden, Miss Ann Clemens. Ann, please tell me a little bit about this place.
Well, this is a botanical garden. A lot of people don't know what that is, but a botanical garden is a collection of plants, and our collection of plants are plants that do well here in the Central Valley and are particularly suited for home landscapes. So people always ask if we have cactus. Yes, we do, but we have a lot of other plants too. We have 60 different types of trees and hundreds of types of shrubs and smaller flowers and bulbs. But there's something different all the time. You can come out different times of the year, see the blooms, see the fall colors, see the bare trees with just the branches showing, which is kind of interesting, really. And there's no admission charge. We're open Monday. We're closed on Monday and Tuesday, open Wednesday through Sunday from 9 to 4.
All right. Now, you said that these are plants that are particularly well known to be grown in the Central Valley. Does that have to do with the fact that the amount of water that they get is limited because we don't really get a lot of water in the Central Valley?
Well, they do well here. A lot of plants do well here if you water them to death and change soil to make them happy. But these plants mostly do well without a lot of amendments added to the soil and with just regular watering. In fact, we don't take plants that take more than, shall we say, moderate water.
Moderate water. Okay. Now, my final question would have to be, do you feel like the botanical garden has do you think it has a good influence on possibly expanding the thoughts and minds of people who want to garden?
Well, I've noticed a difference. I've been with the garden for 15 years. And when I first started, it was a pretty hard sell to tell people that they ought to be careful with the amount of water that they use.
I'm sorry to cut you off, Ann, but we got to keep going. We're reporting live here at the Clovis Botanical Garden. Noah Chavez, Fresno State Focus.
Adopting a pet can sometimes be a challenge, but as Kevin Hernandez shows us, Miss Winkle's Pet Adoption Center in Clovis is working to make it easy and affordable for everyone.
You know the sounds, but let's put some faces and names to them. Welcome to Miss Winkle's Adoption Center, located on 85 North Temperance Avenue in Clovis. Here, all pet adoptions are just $25. All of these furry friends come spayed, neutered, microchipped, and up to date on all their shots. All adoptions also come with a free wellness check, collar, leash, and food sample to make sure that the transition is easy for everyone.
So a big thing about Miss Winkle's is that we really focus all on the pets, and so it's all about getting that perfect match for the people and the pet. Make sure that it's going to last forever, it's their forever home. And so we don't have like a time limit or a space issue with our pet because we are a city organization with city resources.
Miss Winkle's is a nonprofit organization with a number of different ways to support these awesome animals.
We sell bricks out in our front entrance that people can purchase, and that's a great way for families, friends, people to honor loved ones, pets that have passed, or pets that are current. You can take a look at our Facebook page to see those running, as well as you can check out different ways to donate on our website. So you can do monthly donors, you can find things that we are in need of as far as items, particularly litter, dog treats and toys, laundry detergent, and that all goes right back to the pets and helping them be comfortable and helping us help them find their forever home.
Along with the dedicated bricks, you're also able to have a room named after who or whatever you want. With a dedicated staff, Miss Winkle's could be the place where you find your next friend and family member.
Got all sorts of cool cats at Miss Winkle's, like Cindy here, just hanging out, being buds.
And so really the main focus for everyone here is the pets and finding them their forever home.
In Clovis, Kevin Hernandez, Fresno State Focus.
Miss Winkle's was named after David McDonald's West Highlander Terrier after he donated $2 million towards the building construction. A reminder, the Clovis Farmers Market is open every Saturday morning, supporting local businesses and growers. Live entertainment, fresh produce, baked goods, and handmade gifts fill Pulaski and 5th Street on Saturday mornings. All vendor booths are from the Fresno and Clovis area. Most vendors started their small businesses during the pandemic to bring in extra money for their families. This year-round market takes place every Saturday morning in Old Town Clovis from 9 to 11:30.
It's not every day that our MCJ 128 class gets a visitor, but today we had a very unique one stop by. University High School student Isa Muni Simunovic had misplaced her viola, but luckily it was later found in our classroom. Isa took interest in the viola back in middle school and has continued to admire the soul that she feels when tied with the stringed instrument. After high school, she plans on leaving the West Coast to go to school on the East Coast.
I think going to the East Coast, like New York and that area, I think it'll just fuel me and kind of help me to become the person I know I am, but haven't been able to see in a long time.
We are thankful that Isa was able to stop by and show us her musical talent.
It was the sweetest thing to watch, Leticia. I wish you were there.
I am pretty musically inclined myself. I used to play the flute in 4th grade, so I know hot cross buns down to the T.
Awesome. Now it's time to meet some more Fresno State Focus crew members. Let's start with Sydney Morgan. Morgan is a junior MCJ major with a double option in broadcast journalism and public relations. She started off as a nursing major but switched. Morgan works as a writer for both the Collegian and the Clovis Roundup. Some of her favorite things include boba, her dogs, and driving to the mountains with her friends.
So I found MCJ by accident during Dog Days. Faith Sidlow was explaining the program, and from then on I kind of felt like that was what I wanted to do. When I was able to take Focus Crew this semester and kind of learn the behind the scenes, I grew more passionate about it than I ever have been. And from then on, I kind of realized that teaching could be an option in my future, and also reporting. And I work for a newspaper right now, so I could write on the side if I do pursue teaching, just to kind of keep that creativity alive.
Morgan is a first-generation college student. She's doing her best to make her family proud, especially her mom, who she considers her best friend and rock.
Time to meet another member of the Fresno State Focus crew. Meet Jasmine Davila. Jasmine is a 4th-year transfer student originally from Fresno City College. She's doing her first semester here at Fresno State. Davila is an MCJ major with an emphasis in public relations and advertising. She's hopeful to one day work for a large social media company.
I'm just really interested in like the media and like the trends and just everything that's going on, like today's news. I always want to know like what's going on. And yeah, I mean, I love like posting on Instagram, you know, going on Twitter, and I just like to know like what's going on all the time, and what better major for that.
With the challenges of schooling, Davila finds her strength and motivation in her 1-year-old son.
Next week on a special edition of Fresno State Focus, we look at food and sustainability.
We take you to the Central California Food Bank and show you the impact they have on people in Fresno.
And I'll have a story about a farmer's market in San Francisco that has roots from here in the Central Valley.
All that and more on Fresno State Focus.
Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week.